When powerful creative energy merges with powerful healing energy, it results in a rebirth. Buckle up because we're in for a moon cycle of accelerated manifestation, deep level healing, and consciousness expansion. Let's tune in together and receive the angels' messages for the new moon cycle spanning from August 4th through 18th, 2024. On August 4th, we have a new moon occurring in the sign of Leo. This is bringing in boldness, creativity, highly social energy, and big opportunities to heal your confidence and step into your inner authority. This is a beautiful opportunity for taking the next steps in manifesting your goals and dreams, because of course, a new moon cycle is always ripe for new beginnings and setting intentions. On top of that, this moon cycle is also bringing us the climax of the Lionsgate portal. The Lionsgate portal is marked by the alignment of Earth, the Sun, Sirius, and Orion's belt. It lasts from July 26th through August 12th with the peak on August 8th. The Lionsgate is a powerful time for manifestation and spiritual rebirth. It helps us to connect deeply with our souls, undergo expansion and growth for our light bodies, and firmly manifest a new timeline of events that best accelerates the evolution of our consciousness and the fulfillment of our soul's highest purpose. If you'd like to join me for a powerful light body activation, including channeled angel messages and healing work on the peak of the Lionsgate, then click the link I left for you in the description below to register for my Lionsgate activation event. We'll be connecting live on August 8th for this activation, but even if you can't make it live, you'll still receive a recording of this event and get the opportunity to heal and upgrade with the angels. Essentially, this new moon, combined with the Lionsgate, is aligning us with peak manifestation abilities and an opportunity to take a giant leap towards a new Earth. I'll be sharing tons more details on the Lionsgate specifically in my next video, so do keep your eye out for that. For now, let's dive straight into the angels' top 3 messages to guide us through this new moon cycle. Now, all 3 of these angel messages are highly likely to apply to your path in some way. But if you'd like to know which of these messages will be your leading theme or lesson, then pick a number, 1, 2, or 3 now. Whichever number you're most drawn to will represent your leading angel message. Now, I also invite you to set an intention for what you'd most like to manifest during this new moon cycle. Go ahead and ask your heart now, what do I want to manifest most in my life? Trust the first thing that your heart tells you without overthinking or overanalyzing. Your heart always tells you the truth, and you can trust the strongest impression, feeling, intuition, or message you're hearing within now. Now, affirm with me, I now set this intention. I now plant the seed to grow in my life according to my highest divine good. The angels want you to know that the message you're about to receive will contain a direct answer to guide you in manifesting your intention. Ready? Let's dive in. The angels' first message for this new moon cycle is all about healing to raise your vibration. Think of the Lionsgate as a powerful reset and up-leveling for consciousness. This new moon is happening 4 days before the peak of the Lionsgate, and it's coinciding with a burst of energy that will help you to heal within the deeper layers of your consciousness. This healing, however it expresses in your life, will raise the baseline of your vibration. The baseline or threshold of your vibration is determined by the root beliefs that you hold about yourself and the level of self-love you allow to lead in the co-creation of your life. Pure love, meaning love that is not hindered or filtered by any conditions or limits, is the highest vibrating state of consciousness. It is the vibration of God consciousness. According to the angels, the greater your love is for yourself, the greater your allowance of divine intelligence, harmony, and empowerment will be in all areas of your life. During this new moon, the sun and moon are tightly opposing the dwarf planet Chariklo. Chariklo is named for the wife of the centaur Chiron, who is the wounded healer. Like Chiron, when Chariklo is active, it indicates that a powerful cosmic healing energy is flowing through our collective. Chariklo is a mystical healer and a midwife for new consciousness. She is the guardian and guide at the gateways between life, death, and birth. According to the angels, many of us are about to be catalyzed to awaken within the foundations of our beliefs so that we can increase our self-love and thereby hold a new threshold or baseline vibration and consciousness. In other words, your vibration is about to rise to a new sustainable threshold of divine intelligence, and this will be based upon up-leveling your self-love. There are a few specific themes that will be at the forefront of this healing. The first is healing your confidence, self-sovereignty, and inner authority. According to the angels, humanity is currently in a long-term shift away from externalizing power so that we can rediscover and operate from the power within us. All of us have the presence of the divine creator source within us. This is the source of all power and all creation in the universe. Your closest and most intimate access to this power lies within you. You're now being guided to heal any self-limiting beliefs that ever caused you to give away your power or defer to external authority in determining your life's reality. So keep your eye out for power struggles, relationship clashes, and life lessons that challenge you to take a long and hard look at your self-sovereignty. Challenges are powerful trigger points for change and healing. If you meet with any challenges, remember that your soul draws in challenges in order to trigger growth. And right now, this is about growth that specifically helps you to realize your incredible divine power and ordain yourself with the unconditional self-love that allows your power to shine out and lead your life's timeline. Remember this simple formula. If the pressure and challenges of change show up and push you out of your comfort zone, then radically embrace self-love and let self-love be your compass for navigating into peace. Now, another major healing theme at the forefront of this consciousness and vibration rebirth that we're currently experiencing is healing for relationships. The angels have communicated the message to me time and again that relationships are ground zero for where we human beings experience the greatest amount of spiritual growth in our lives. Relationships hold up mirrors that help us to see deep into our souls and evolve our perspectives. During this new moon, Venus, the planet of love and relationships, will be changing signs and moving into purifying Virgo. This signifies a deeply reflective and sometimes even critical energy, wherein we're triggered to look deeper into the inner workings of our relationships in order to better understand their functionality. Anything dysfunctional in your relationships will be brought into the spotlight for healing work and change. In addition to all of this, the angels are also communicating that information related to health and well-being will likely be pouring into your life. Depending on what you need most, this could be information about physical body healing, mental or emotional health, or relationship healing. So pay attention to the signs and trust the healing guidance that appears on your path. Overall, the angels wish to remind us that there is a healer within each and every one of us. Those who wield the power of love wield healing energy, and you're being guided to remember love in order to more strongly program it into your default setting and baseline vibration. The angels' second message for this new moon cycle is that we're about to receive a communication reboot. As I mentioned previously, a new moon in Leo brings in a very social energy. Social energy means increased self-expression and communication. And this will all coincide with a Mercury retrograde. Mercury goes retrograde right after the peak of the new moon and will remain retrograde from August 5th through 27th. This shift is inviting us to take a deeper look at our communication patterns and tread with intention and care when communicating important truths. There is definitely some high potential for conflict here, so it will be very important to stay anchored in love and compassion, both for yourself and others. If you start to feel overwhelmed or scattered, then be sure to ground your energy and center yourself in the present moment. Fear likes to project into the future and create worst-case scenarios that just don't exist in the present moment. Right now, this can trigger polarization, us versus them thinking, and I'm right and you're wrong types of discussion. Disengage from these types of power struggles, stay rooted in love, and remember that true power flows from the love within you, and no one can challenge or diminish that. If things start to feel intense, then know that breath work is going to be a wonderful spiritual practice for you to healthfully move emotional energy through you and clear your energy field of any attachments you unconsciously made to someone else's energy. Deep cleansing breathing will also help to clear your mind so that you can slow down and think carefully about how you want to proceed. Know that this Mercury retrograde and this moon cycle overall is going to be highly influenced by the planet Uranus, the Great Awakener. This is helping us to dissolve old limiting stories we've told ourselves about our worth and power and the level of potential we allow ourselves to perceive in the world we live in. We're essentially being guided to wipe the slate clean so that we can tell new and more expansive stories and thereby seed a reality that better matches love, unity, truth, and peace. Mercury retrograde is always a time where we can more easily access the deeper layers of our consciousness and weed out blockages. And this one is going to be huge for healing harsh criticism and breaking down barriers to the expansion we most need at a collective soul level. By the way, Mars is conjunct Uranus in the natal chart of the USA, so this could bring up explosive news and conflict-based communication. If so, just remember to stay centered in compassion and ask the divine to show you the highest possible perspective. We are collectively receiving a reactivation of the great conjunction of the December solstice of 2020, which began a brand new 800-year cycle for consciousness awakening. We've been experiencing the birth pangs of this awakening ever since, but remember that the challenges are catalysts for deep lessons and profound collective awakening. The angels want to remind you that you are a leader in all of this. Your values, integrity, and creativity are all being expanded in a huge way so that you can step into leadership, boldly share truth with the world, and help this birthing of new earth. This is an especially fertile time for you to work on writing projects, creative projects, and art. Basically, you're being highly supported in anything that involves communicating truth, upgrading spiritual understanding, or improving communication networks in our world. And by the way, though we might find ourselves facing and clearing a lot of communication blockages and struggles, things will be getting lighter by around August 14th when Mercury retrograde enters Leo and reminds us to prioritize joy. Communication holds magical power to seed and program the reality we experience. You are the artist and magician of this reality sculpting power, and you're about to be given the keys to upgrade it now. The angel's third and final message for this new moon cycle is that we're now experiencing accelerated evolution. According to the angels, reality is shifting to give you a blank canvas to paint upon. You're being given an exciting and empowering reconnection with your infinite potential and your ability to choose your life's path. The dwarf planet Salacia, representing mermaid energy and the rising of enlightenment from the seas of consciousness, is still conjunct the North Node during this moon cycle. The North Node, of course, representing our future collective destiny. According to the angels, this, coinciding with the Lion's Gate, reflects that our planet is now being bathed in divine light. Divine light is shifting our consciousness, expanding our light bodies, and activating the spiritual components of our DNA so that we can better ground and realize new Earth. This is exactly what the angels will be helping us with during my upcoming Lionsgate activation event. So again, if this calls to you, then you can register for the event via the link below. According to the angels, this accelerated leap towards new light and consciousness also coincides with new timelines that we are now creating and pulling into being, not only for ourselves, but for the whole collective. The angels want you to know that each time you choose thoughts, beliefs, and energetic patterns that align you with love and unity, you not only uplift your own life's timeline to reflect greater peace and love, but you also share that with the world. We all belong to one another. And so when one person rises into love and experiences its healing, benefits, abundance, and blessings, all will prosper. So one of the best things you can contribute to humanity's current co-creation of a new Earth is to live your life with love, peace, and joy as sacred devotions. Trust that in prioritizing these values, everything else falls into place harmoniously. Now, the new moon is conjunct the dwarf planet Varuna, which symbolizes harmonizing with divine law and a flood of cleansing energy and emotion to help us with unifying towards that. Overall, the angels want you to know that you are a courageous, trailblazing soul. Though it may be challenging and at times frightening to live through these times of great change, your soul literally incarnated for this. The life you are living now includes choices, creations, and precedents that you're setting for future generations to anchor into a new earth with a greater threshold of unity. You are at the center of consciousness evolution because you're directly experiencing it. You're being guided to help the whole world rise and expand out of the individual mind and into the collective mind and spirit. This means dropping into the intelligence of your heart. The angels want you to know that your heart is the purest temple of God's presence on earth. When you allow your heart to lead you, you literally bring heaven to earth and teach others how to do the same. Thank you for shining your light and for being in this world on this exciting journey now. And of course, thank you so much for receiving these messages and for liking, commenting, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell. It is such an honor to be connected with you, and I can't wait to connect with you live on the peak of the Lion's Gate for our angel activation. Remember to register before August 8th via the link below. I also left you a link to apply for my Angelic Ascension program in case you'd like to receive spiritual training from me on how to channel the angels and learn how to be a strong leader of the light on your ascension path. Again, thank you so much for tuning in, and know until next time that you are so loved and so very blessed. Bye!